Hey everybody, as I said in my last video, I've got some new parts for the project truck, the Toyota pickup, and I've got them in here, and I want to show you. This is my workroom. Pretty messy right now. But I've got a whole pile of parts. I've been doing a lot of painting down here too. But I want to go through these one by one because this is a pretty sick setup, and even though it's really warm out, it's not quite warm enough to do work yet, so I'm just itching to start ripping things off the pickup and installing new parts and doing this huge swap and upgrade that I'm going to tell you about. But first, we've got these. These are Trail Gear tube doors. Really nice. I've got all sorts of primer and Eastwood products on them. Really nice tough finish. Should hold up pretty well. I might actually put a few more coats on too once I'm sure everything is cured. And I've decided, I don't know if I've said this yet in a video, I don't think so. I got under the truck the other day and I really didn't like the look of what the independent front suspension looked like. It really looked like it'd been kind of hacked together and beat on pretty hard. There's like lower control arms, and the mounting points just looked bent, and it looked like a lot of work. And I was like, long travel's fun and everything, but this is Vermont. There's trails. Not really as much high-speed stuff, and I won't get as much flex out of a four-wheel drive long travel setup anyway. So I decided go full solid axle swap. So that being said, I ordered this big kit from Trail Gear because Trail Gear had a slightly better price than All Pro. Despite I've heard that Trail Gear's springs are slightly lower quality, they still look pretty beefy to me. So I've got all these parts. They include the high steer kit. They include, you can choose your lift height. I chose 5 inches because I'll run 35s or 38s or something like that. Something pretty beefy. I want to buy some really nice tires, so that might limit the size because nice tires are expensive, really expensive. I was looking at some Maxxis tires maybe. I don't know. They looked really cool. But anyway, that's a future thing. I chose a 5-inch lift. That's probably a little excessive, but at least I'll have room for more. What I've got here, let's see if I can open a few of these up. I don't even know. Shackles. I have wheel spacers, aluminum. I've got these are all parts of the axle rebuild kit. They offer an axle rebuild kit with it, or they give you an axle rebuild kit with the solid axle swap kit. So I've got all the gaskets and bearings and everything like that to rebuild the axle completely. And all I needed then, and I got these nice 5-inch lift springs, and they're really heavy duty because I have the V6. So I ordered the heavier springs. These might not, they might be a little stiff, so I might end up removing leafs or something, but I'd rather have too much than too little right now. I don't want any sag or overloading the leafs, especially up front. So after that, they give you everything except the axle. So I was looking around for an axle, and unfortunately the Craigslist in Vermont isn't too active. But just randomly I came across an ad that says Toyota front axle $500, and it had no other description. So I was like, you know what? I got to take the chance. And I went, and guy, he was actually selling another axle out of an 84. And he's like, and I told him I was doing a solid axle swap, and he's like, since you told me you were doing this swap, I'll save you the trouble, and I'll just offer you the same price for this fully disassembled and cleaned up axle housing and all the parts. I was like, you know what? I don't really want to have to tear an axle apart and rebuild it. So I'll just take all the parts, or I'll take this disassembled axle that's already been cleaned up. It's actually really, really nice. I don't know what coating this is on here, but it's very, very tough, and there's no rust, nothing. So here's the housing. There's the front shocks, Bilsteins, that came with the kit. I've got knuckles. I decided to stick with the 4-stud knuckles because I don't really want to be spending more money than I have to right now. We'll see if those hold up. They should. They're pretty thick, and I'm gonna do some serious wheeling with this thing, but I'm not gonna be going like the hardest possible. I don't have that kind of experience yet. Hoping to get it, but to be honest, I don't think I'm going to be doing, straight crazy angle rock crawling that's really going to stress every single part and roll hazards and everything like that. I've got, these are the shock hoops that came with the kit, recently been coated. So these will get welded on up front. The independent front suspension tabs will get cut off. These will get welded on with some gussets and good to go to mount those nice longer travel Bilsteins. Front leaf plates, something like that. I don't know. I have to read the instructions again. Just painted those. Differential cover for the rear. There's my new nice Hobart welder. Dual voltage. And yeah, so I've got all these awesome parts. I've got the axle shafts and everything are in that bag. Nice and covered up. I got everything. I also have disc brakes in that white box under that black box. Those are the discs that allow me to run, or it allows me to run the discs and not the drums. The V6 discs. Alright, what else do I have here? Brake lines. A few more, it looks just like frame mounting parts. I need the front hangers and everything. Looks like gussets. Oh, and bump stops. I think that's what those are. And I haven't really delved too deep in this yet because I know I can't do anything, and if I start getting too excited, then bad things are going to happen. I'm going to try to assemble a whole axle in my basement, and I'm never going to be able to get out of here. But anyway, there's all the parts. Actually, let's go upstairs real quick. I got one more thing to show you. Whoops. Just knocking things over. Oh, and this is, oh, no, it's not. What is this? Thought it was hardware for the tube doors, but I think that's over. Yeah, it's over in that box under the differential cover. Head all the way upstairs. Random ice scraper. Here's my really messy room. Yeah, so this is a pretty cool thing that I've got. This is a tube mount light bar with 4 LED spots. So I've got amber LEDs and red LEDs. I'm gonna run those as tail lights and blinkers. They're super bright, so that'll be pretty cool, and it'll look really, really cool to have them mounted up that high. I have new master cylinder. Allows me to run discs front and back. I'm not running discs in the back, but if I ever upgrade. Brake pads, brake calipers. I have more discs. Actually, I might try to mount those on the back. Now, I actually I bought those before I knew that before I had decided on the solid axle swap, and I didn't know that they would include discs. So I've got extra discs if anybody wants them, for a price, of course. New windshield wipers. I've got a bunch of new stuff. Filters. What are these? Yeah. Oh, those are new. Those are new ball joints, which I won't be needing. So again, if anybody wants to pay me for them, I will sell them at reduced cost, brand new, never used. Got some Casey highlights, cyclones that I'm going to mount up for driving lights. Yeah. Anyway, there's a bunch of new parts on my super messy floor. And here's my dog. Hey, Kimbo. How are you? How are you? You're a good boy. You're Another beautiful day. Tacoma sitting out in the driveway. It's gonna be like 50 something today, I think. I'm heading down to Concord. Have some fun there. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. Hope you enjoyed and hope you're as excited about this project as I am. I will see you soon. Thanks for watching.